One night, the watchdog at the door of the founding master's quarters barked loudly as someone approached. So a disciple got up and scolded the dog. The founding master said, "This dog's duty is to bark. Why do you stop the dog from doing its duty?" Everyone and everything in this world have their specific duties. Even in a single person, the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind each has its own duty to perform, whether superior or subordinate, noble or humble. If everyone performs his or her duty, this world will then have order and progress. Thus, you must perform your own duty well, but also not hinder others from fulfilling theirs. However, among all these duties, there also is the central duty that governs all other duties. In human beings, the mind has that central duty. In societies and nations, the leaders have it, running and controlling all institutions. Therefore, if the person with the central duty neglects that duty even a little bit, all the duties within that person's purview will collapse together, and the institutions will naturally be thrown into disorder. You must each examine your own situation and be completely dedicated to performing whatever your duty may be. Be careful in commanding your mind, which is the pivotal agent of all duties, so that you create no hindrances to either your own fate or other people's futures.
Generally speaking, the world is composed of two types, the strong and the weak. If the strong and the weak cooperate with each other and fulfill their respective ways, then this world will be in eternal peace. If not, the strong and the weak will both suffer disasters, and peace will never be achieved in the world. Thus, an ancient sage said that if a superior treats a subordinate like his own son, then the subordinate will treat his superior like his own parent. But if the superior treats the subordinate like chaff, then the subordinate will treat his superior like his enemy.
The founding master said, "All people wish to be respected by others, but they are more apt to do what will make them slighted. How then can they get their wish? The method to receive others' respect is first for me to respect others and be considerate of them. If I am respectful and considerate of them, then they, too, will be respectful and considerate of me." The founding master also said, "I always feel sorry for the strong who do not know how to play the role of the strong. One who is already strong must constantly help and guide the weak, and encourage them to become as strong as oneself. Then one's strength will become an eternal strength, and one will be forever respected as a forerunner and pioneer." Nowadays, the strong in many cases resort only to oppressing and deceiving the weak. How can this lead to eternal strength? The weak need not remain perpetually weak. If gradually their spirits open and they recover their inherent vital energy, then they also will someday stand in the position of the strong. When the weak awaken and stand in the position of the strong, then the position of those who oppress them will naturally deteriorate. Therefore, really wise persons will always help all the more when others are poor and protect them all the more when they are weak, in order eternally to preserve their own strength.
The founding master was visiting the agricultural department and, seeing emaciated pigs in a pen, asked for an explanation. Yi Tonggen replied, "While we were feeding them barley that got a bit spoiled during this year's rainy season, they were getting fatter every day. Starting a few days ago, we began to feed them chaff again, but they can't change their acquired taste for barley, and so they lost their appetite. So they're getting skinnier like this." The founding master said, "This is a living scripture. The sufferings of the rich who become poor or the powerful who lose their rank are no different than the sufferings of these pigs. Hence, since time immemorial, the sages have all regarded human wealth and honor matter-of-factly, and did not become overly happy when wealth and honor came their way, nor overly concerned when wealth and honor left. In ancient times, the Emperor Shun received the rank of the Son of Heaven after doing such lowly jobs as cultivating the fields or making pottery, but he never became arrogant. The world-honored one, Kyamuni, abdicated his destined position of king, and, fleeing the palace, left the household life behind. But he didn't retain even the slightest attachment. How equanimous were their attitudes toward wealth and honor, and how admirable was their power to transcend suffering and happiness. Hence, if you too aspire to the way and want to learn how to be a sage or a saint, do not blindly pursue comfort, joy, or power. Above all else, but rather shun them. And even if you unavoidably find yourself in such situations, do not let yourself become attached or corrupted by them. You will then be able to enjoy eternal comfort, eternal honor, and eternal power. The founding master was explaining the meaning of being content with poverty and rejoicing in the way. Generally speaking, poverty refers to an insufficiency of some sort. If one's facial appearance falls short, it is poverty of the face. If one's learning falls short, it is poverty of learning. If one's property falls short, it is poverty of material assets. The saying being content with one's lot means being comfortable with one's given portion in every aspect. If one is not content with one's existing poverty and struggles to avoid it unreasonably, then one will only become more anxious and increase one's suffering instead. If poverty is unavoidable, accept it with equanimity and take pleasure in preparing for future wisdom and merit. Those who are content rejoice in the way because they understand current suffering will change into happiness in the future. Furthermore, they derive pleasure from the fact that their mind never digresses from the truth, and their power of cultivation is able to enter the genuine realm that transcends suffering and happiness. Since ancient times, sages and philosophers have all understood this principle and applied it in their actual lives. And thus, while living in poverty, they lived an unparalleled life of rejoicing in the way. The founding master said, "A person who wants all things in the world to be just as he wishes is as foolish as a person who builds a house in sand and presumes he will live in splendor for thousands of years. A wise person will be satisfied and grateful if 6 out of 10 times things work out in life the way one wished. Moreover, even if all 10 things turn out to one's liking, one does not monopolize those satisfying things but enjoys sharing them with all the world. For that reason, not only will one avoid misfortunes, but one's blessings will always be infinite." The founding master said, "It is often the case that people's major transgressions start with minor faults. Therefore, you must occasionally examine your own conduct. And if you discover even a minor fault, do not procrastinate, but work hard to correct it. There is an animal in the south called an orangutan that is so strong and quick that humans can't capture it by force. But they say that these animals like alcohol, so people leave a large bowl full of liquor along the roadside, so that an orangutan will see it as it walks by. At first the animal laughs at it and walks away, but then it comes back and drinks a little, then returns again to drink more, repeating this action several times until without even being aware it has drunk all the liquor. Finally it passes out drunk and people come out to capture it. The liquor that the animal initially intended only to sip is eventually completely finished, until it finally is either killed or captured alive. Human beings are just the same. If minor faults keep accumulating because they were not corrected in the beginning, people will commit major transgressions and badly ruin their future. How can one not be careful about this? Concerned that some of his young male and female disciples were straying because they had not found the right path of practice, the founding master said, "There are some of you who advance quickly in your practice in the beginning, but digress later, and others who learn slowly in the beginning but advance quickly later. I have foreseen your tendencies and guided each of you appropriately. But if you are over 30, your lifelong character has by now been mostly decided." I myself am rather worried about those who have not yet matured, but this is something that should be a matter of great concern to the persons themselves.